To get to your grade level specific Canvas page, if you're already enrolled, then you should be able to go through Dashboard or through your courses to find it. If you're not already enrolled in your grade level specific course, then what you'll need to do is come to the Deer Valley Middle School Science course, click where it says grade level Canvas pages, and this will give you self-enroll codes for each of the different courses. You go ahead and click on that and you enroll in the course. And then you need to send me an email letting me know in that particular course what you enrolled in, because I'll switch your from being a student in there to being a teacher, and then it allows you to utilize all the resources that are in there to the fullest. So we're going to go to 7th grade, and we're going to review a few of the items that were placed in here for you this summer. And a lot of our work was centered around our district assessments. There are some new assessments that are available this year and that are required, and some that are available to you. So there are, you can see on this list what's required and what's optional. Things that went away were the quarterly tests in 7th grade, and also the pre, mid, and post that was the full year content-based test. Those assessments no longer exist in our system. What we do have to replace some of them is the first one that you'll see are the Strand 1 pre and post tests that are required. This one is looking at their student competency in Strand 1 skills, and so we're going to measure those skills over time. You can utilize this for an SLO, but you don't have to. It's just available for you. If you choose to use it as an SLO goal, you'll see over here on the optional side that there's also a mid-year test to give you a benchmark. These are all low-level tests, and that's what the L means at the end of the test title. It means it's low level, which means you can see everything. The only thing you can't do with this particular assessment is print it out, give it to your students, and let them take it home. If you want to print things out and show it to them, you absolutely can do that. There's also cards for each student that they can look at and see how they did on certain things. You can use all those different resources in School City for this particular group of assessments. You'll also see over on the optional side that there is an optional pretest for both semester 1 and semester 2. They're both currently open right now, and the semester 2 pretest will open again in December. So if you want to give all your pretests in August, you can do that, or if you want to spread them out, you can do that as well. Your required assessments, you'll have a required semester 1 test and a required semester 2 test. There's a little bit difference in the structure or the format of the test. The tests are 30 questions each, and they have 29 multiple choice questions and 1 constructed response question. There is a rubric, and I'll show you where that's at, for how to score that constructed response. This is a high-level test, a high-security test, which is why you'll see the H after the title, which means that all you can see is the standards analysis and the student results. You will not be able to see an item analysis on the post-tests. You can on the pre-test because the questions are now different from the pre to the post. So there's no problem with test security of students seeing the questions on that pre-test. Some other items that your colleagues made for you this summer, they went through the item analysis from the previous tests and they identified concepts that students seem to struggle with across the district. And so you'll be able to see by assessment what concept those students struggled with, and then some suggestions for how you can help those students through your instruction. So you'll see there's semester 1 and here's semester 2. So you'll be able to see the concepts where students had a harder time with. And then also looking at Strand 1 skills as well, and some concepts that they needed some assistance with on that. You'll also be able to see a blueprint of all the assessments. What this shows you is how many questions are from each performance objective in the standards on a particular test. So it just kind of gives you a layout of what's on the test and how much emphasis there is on particular POs on the assessments. This team also made study guides for you for your students. Now, if you're going to share these electronically with your student, please make sure that you make a copy of this Google Doc, save it in your drive, and then share your copy of it. Please do not share this direct link with your students, because if they don't log into their district Google account and they ask for permission to get into that particular study guide, all of those permission requests are going to go to the person who made this document. They're not going to go to you. So please make sure that you only share a copy that you've made of this, not the one that was created by the team this summer. It'll be the same exact thing, just it'll be your copy of it. The next item that we have are our scoring rubrics. So you'll have the rubric that goes along with the question for semester 1, and they did give you a pretty detailed look at what it would mean to get a 4, what it would mean to get a 3, 2, and 1. This rubric may not be shared with students. And then you also have another link to your assessment windows that we looked at in the previous video. There's not an additional area for SLO. When you write your goal, if you choose to use these assessments, you will need to kind of focus in on a particular strand 1 skill. You'll have to be a little bit more specific. And then as you look at your action steps, I would ask you to be very thoughtful about your action steps and what it is that you're choosing to focus in on and how you're going to help your students improve. That's where the real meat of this is, and that's where the value of the SLO goal is. If we don't have those action steps that we follow and see how we're doing and how our students are responding to those action steps, then the SLO tends to lose its value a little bit. So I challenge you to really focus in on those action steps. If you have questions about any of the assessments or the items that were provided for you here, please make sure that you contact me. Have a great start to your year.